It's Tuesday, September 22nd, and this is your day starter. Let me begin with a personal note. I'm sure many of you are aware that I have been out recently with a case of the shingles on the left side of my face and in my left eye. And as you can probably see by the way I'm squinting like Popeye, I am not completely healed yet, though I do believe I'm on the road to recovery. I want to thank you all for your prayers, your cards, the words of kindness and support I have received, and that I know I will continue to receive as I work back to a place of good health. I also want to take a moment and say a word of thanks to the church staff, to this remarkable team that you have built here of individuals who stepped up in my absence and supported and encouraged wonderful ministry. A special thanks to them. This week, we look to the third phase of our vision of great expectations for who we want to be as a church. We've talked about having outstanding worship experiences. We've moved into the idea of core groups, small groups of deep connectedness with one another, where we can study and learn and grow together. And then finally this week, we want to talk about the third leg of the triad. And that's, what do you do once you've been engaged and energized by worship? And what do you do once you've done the learning? Well, recently, with my case of the shingles, I have been out for 3 weeks and put in a position where I've basically had very little activity. I told one person today that I spent a lot of time listening to TED Talks, and I did, and a lot of time listening to sports on TV as well. But a Christian life can't be like the experience I just had. Oh, to be sure, I understand why I had to go through that. The Christian life has to step out beyond just the learning and the experiencing for the self and see how it can impact the lives of others. Our scripture for this upcoming week comes from James, the 2nd chapter. We'll be using a contemporary translation called The Message. And in that translation, Eugene Peterson, the creator of it, has this wonderful turn of phrase. He talks about the royal rule of scriptures. Love one another as you love yourself. Whenever I hear those famous words, I'm always reminded of something somebody said long ago, that love is an active verb. To be a faithful follower of Christ means not simply learning or growing or experiencing faith and worship. It means turning outward into a world of need and sharing the good news in word, yes, but even more so in action. Something to think about as your day starts.